is Ian Belger. My job title is Chief Electrical Engineer and I work for Sellafield Limited. A typical day for me would usually be in the office at Risley near Warrington, working as part of my design team, which is about 40 strong, various skills, various capabilities. So it would be meetings, answering emails, dealing with problems on the spot with my team or with the broader community that I head up. It could be that I'm at Sellafield for a day or maybe a couple of days, again in meetings or in workshops or discussions and so on. Lots of time on the phone, lots of time out talking to people and dealing with the problems they have. My job tends to be about helping other people do theirs well. So I'm really trying to help these guys by solving their problems for them and letting them do what they're there to do. So very varied, very interesting. It's a combination of a good technical capability. We're looking for someone who's done a good degree. So in engineering, for example, they need to have had at least a 2-2. But more importantly, probably, is that all-round capability, the behavioural skills, what you would call the wow skills, to be able to work in teams, have some integrity, some professionalism, hard work, the good ethics, doing the job safely. And wanting to learn, wanting to develop their skills and their capability, and really take and make the most of the opportunities that we think we give them to develop up into the organisation. We typically look at them to come in and aim at what we call responsible engineer roles, where they end up managing a team of people, being responsible for a technical problem on a particular area. So they've got to have a good understanding of the subject, but they've got to be able to lead teams, manage budgets, manage people. We're also looking very strongly for people to become what we call professionally registered chartered engineers in my case. That's a big requirement for us, so we support people very heavily towards that. All our schemes are accredited to help people do that, and it's a big plus for us. But the behavioural side is at least as important as the technical side, if I'm honest. The potential to get a good degree in line with what our requirements are is obviously going to matter, but someone who shows a genuine interest in what they do, so they might get involved in clubs that do electronics or something in my area, or they get involved with working on cars. I mean, some of the guys we've taken on this year have been involved with the Formula One scheme that runs in this area, and there's a guy from my company who supports that here. So someone who sort of goes a bit extra and does a bit extra above and beyond the degree to show they've actually got an interest in the topic, and critically an interest in who we are and what we do, because it's very off-putting to interview a graduate who, when you ask them, what do you think of Sellafield and what we do for a living, and they don't know who we are or what we do, and they think that we're, just a nuclear power generator, which we're clearly not these days. So that bit of extra, that bit of interest, that bit of enthusiasm, as well as all of the things when you see at assessment centres, that the behavioural skills and the technical capability. Do their homework and make sure they turn up to anything that they're going to do, whether it's a telephone interview or an assessment centre, and they know about the company that they're being interviewed by, whether it's Sellafield or any other. So they understand what they do and why they do it. It is about being able to work with people, so that ability to, again, display the wow skills, to be confident, to understand your strengths and weaknesses, to act with integrity, be professional, to dress properly when you come to the interview sessions, to be positive, to be yourself, and to come across as who you really are. There's no point in putting an act on or trying to play a role, because you'll get found out later on. You've just got to be yourself, but hopefully yourself is the sort of person that can display those sort of capabilities. Yes, self-awareness is very important, because it's very important to know what you don't know and be honest about what you don't know, because what I don't enjoy and my colleagues wouldn't enjoy is a graduate who comes in and thinks they know it all and the world owes them a living. And you do get them, I'm afraid. I've never seen any from John Moore's, but that's me being biased. Organisational awareness, I've mentioned that already. You have to understand what the organisation is about, and once you get there, you've got to understand how to make things work within that organisation so you can get done what you've got to get done. You've got lots of different people with lots of different priorities and lots of different ways of operating, and you've got to find your way through that maze and that challenge to actually achieve the things. And you will not get anything done by doing it on your own. You will only get things done by using the other people in that organisation to help you get there. And project management, it's again a bit of a no-brainer. Anything is a project, and anything requires you to have a bit of a plan, a bit of a job list, a bit of an understanding of the money you've got to spend on it, the amount of time you've got, the resources you've got, and what's your problem, what's your scope, what's your issue, and what's the sort of steps you've got to go through to make that problem go away or be improved on. And all of those are, you know, the things, the skills you need, and they come from being a project manager. You're not a project manager in many cases, but you've got to understand how to manage an issue. And I think you learn that on a degree. It's like doing a project on your course. You start off with a requirement, you work through, you understand your budget and your timeline. You work through understanding the definition and the testing and so on. And you do all those things anyway. And it's not as black and art as people want to make it. It's just that basic understanding of how to take it through the sort of life cycle to get to the point where it works. A couple of things. I'm pretty confident that they've got a good set of those skills that I think they need to be a successful and well-rounded individual to do a job. I'm also, I think, impressed with them that they've recognised and they've been mature enough to recognise the need to get that, and they've put themselves out a bit, because it's hard work doing an engineering degree. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, more than some others, if I'm honest. And yet on top of that, they've grabbed hold of the need to do something in addition to give themselves a bit of an extra differentiator and a bit of extra set of skills. The two things go together. Being good technically and good behaviour, if you like, are just so indistinguishable, you can't really differentiate them. So if they've got the components and the visible evidence that they've done that second bit, and for me, perhaps the more important bit, then it's a big plus. And I will still have to test them on that capability to make sure it's genuine through an assessment centre, but I'm looking at them with increased confidence, and I'm certainly looking to think I want to recruit these guys and at least give them a chance to join us.